So for 40 years, the Department of Justice has had a policy, do nothing that could interfere in an upcoming election. This time around, Bill Barr thinks we need an exception to that policy. Let's talk about that. Because a free and fair election, like justice, matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So for nearly a quarter of a century of my 30 years as a federal prosecutor, the Department of Justice was my professional home. And for decades now, the DOJ had a policy, a hard and fast rule that its prosecutors should say nothing, should do nothing that could impact or interfere in an upcoming election, right? Don't announce any investigation. Don't indict anybody. Don't issue a press release that could impact public perception or opinion, that could sway people away from a candidate or toward a candidate. The Department of Justice is supposed to be an apolitical organization. And that's why we had that hard and fast rule. Within 60 days of an election, do nothing that could interfere in or impact that election. This time, Bill Barr thinks we need an exception to the rule that we will do nothing to interfere in an election. And no, I'm not kidding. You can't make this up. Over the last 48 hours, we've seen a good bit of reporting about an email that went out from Bill Barr's Department of Justice to the 94 U.S. attorneys' offices in the field. And I want to talk about that email and this exception to policy. And then I want to try to put it in context and talk about what it really means. So, first of all, the email that went out to the field prosecutors says the following, but please bear with me because it's a whole lot of ugly legal word salad that I'm going to try to unravel for you after I plow through it. Okay? So the email announced an exception to the general non-interference with elections policy, because that's what we need, an exception to a policy that says we won't interfere in elections. The new exemption, the email stated, applied to instances in which, here it comes, the integrity of any component of the federal government is implicated by election offenses within the scope of the policy, including but not limited to misconduct by federal officials or employees administering an aspect of the voting process through the United States Postal Service, the Department of Defense, or any other federal department or agency. Clear now? Like I said, ugly legal word salad. But let's pull out some of the relevant words and phrases and see how it might apply given what we know has been going on in our federal government in recent months. Okay, so this new policy is designed to get at misconduct, the word in the email, misconduct like slowing the mail service, which is a federal offense. It's designed to get at misconduct by federal officials, like Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. Misconduct by federal officials who are administering an aspect of the voting process, like voting by mail, like citizens trying to mail in their ballots. You know, it seems like you could use this exception to go after Postmaster General Louis DeJoy. In fact, when you work your way through this legal word salad, I'm surprised that the title of this email wasn't, "Will somebody lock up Louis DeJoy already?" Now, maybe that's just me. Maybe I like free and fair elections a little too much. And let's face it, folks, we don't look at an email like this and think oh, Bill Barr must be trying to go after criminal members of the Trump administration. That's not what Bill Barr is doing by announcing this exception. You know, Bill Barr is doing this to try to nefariously help Donald Trump in his reelection bid. That's Bill Barr's jam, right? That's what he does. But here is why I'm not all that concerned with Bill Barr's exception, right? Telling the U.S. attorneys in the field that, maybe it's okay this time around if we interfere a little in the upcoming election. First of all, let me just talk for 30 seconds about the organizational structure of the Department of Justice, because I don't think everybody intuitively knows how we're set up. If you think of the Pentagon, right, as the headquarters for the entire military, and then you think of the field units out around the United States, around the world, the Army posts, the Air Force bases, with the Pentagon being the command center of the military, well, the Department of Justice in downtown D.C. between Constitution and Pennsylvania avenues, the Department of Justice, Main Justice as we call it, is the headquarters for the legal matters of the United States. And then the 94 U.S. attorneys' offices are like the field troops, the field prosecutors. It's all part of the Department of Justice. But think of DOJ as headquarters, and then all the U.S. attorneys' offices as the field prosecutors. And there are 94 U.S. attorneys' offices around the country and in Guam and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And that's where the hard work of prosecuting federal crimes is done, in those 94 U.S. attorneys' offices. Now, I set that up because when Bill Barr has his Department of Justice, I think his public integrity section, send this email out saying, we're going to try an exception to the don't interfere in elections rule this time around. You know how that email is likely to land with those 94 U.S. attorneys? Not so well. And here's why I say that. Think back to the reporting just a few days ago, it seems like an eternity ago now, in the New York Times about the horrific Trump, Jeff Sessions, Rod Rosenstein immigrant family separation policy, right? We had reported that Rosenstein said, we must take children away. Sessions said we must take children away. And Rosenstein followed up, according to the New York Times reporting, by saying, and we don't care if they're infants. What did we see in that New York Times article? We saw that the 5 border state U.S. attorneys who received that message from on high, from Trump and Sessions and Rosenstein, take children away, take infants away, they pushed back. They said they were horrified. They said they were deeply concerned about the damage this would cause to the children. Now, they went ahead and prosecuted and deported parents anyway, and there were children left just sort of twisting in the wind. But I was heartened when I read the reporting that the 5 border state U.S. attorneys pushed back on what Trump and Sessions and Rosenstein were trying to do. Because I think we're going to see that same phenomenon when they receive this email from Bill Barr's Department of Justice saying, don't be so concerned about our rule, our policy of not interfering in elections. This time around, you go ahead and interfere a little. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. But folks, those 94 U.S. attorneys, the overwhelming majority of them, I predict, are going to take that email and figuratively hit delete. Say, yeah, thank you for giving us leeway to interfere in the elections, Bill Barr. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Because the 115,000 employees of the Department of Justice, my friends, my former colleagues, they are better than Bill Barr. They're better than Donald Trump. They're going to do it the right way. You know, the DOJ employees just keep their heads down, notwithstanding the rot at the top, notwithstanding having a corrupt leader like Attorney General Bill Barr, and they do their jobs on behalf of the American people honestly and ethically and enthusiastically every day of the week. And they try to tune out what's going on with Bill Barr and Donald Trump. They just try to do the right thing. And an email saying it's okay to do the wrong thing a little bit with respect to the upcoming election will not move them. It won't move them. They're going to say, no, thank you very much. We'll keep doing the right thing by the American people because that's kind of what we signed up for. That's what I tried to do for the 30 years I was a federal prosecutor, first as an Army JAG and then at the Department of Justice. Thank you. We'll just do the right thing by the American people. So you know what? This email will not land the way Bill Barr hopes it will land, to do some more nefarious bidding for Donald Trump and his re-election campaign. Folks, as always, please get out to the polls in numbers too big to rig, in numbers too real to steal. And we'll look forward to both November and January when justice will come. It will come. And justice matters. As always, please stay safe. And I look forward to talking with you all again tomorrow.